Hello. Welcome to the stream if you're here. As promised, what I'm going to be doing here is playing Loop Hero for the first time, and then also working on a game of mine. Project Axial Tilt. I still don't have like a real name for it, so I'm going with this funny project name. Sci-fi game, but basically I'm going to be making cool tabletop RPG special abilities. So, you know, if you're into that, you will be into this. If you're... Oh, I shouldn't just show my Discord. Come on now. If you're out there, if you're watching, post in a Discord like I'm about to do. And tell your friends to come hang out. Because I think this will be entertaining. I'm trying to remember where to post things. Press and content promotion. Yeah. Trying to figure out how to keep an eye on the chat zone if any chat occurs, and also the game, and also the game design. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna get started. I don't know. All I know is that I'm pretty sure I'll like Loop Hero, but I don't know much about it other than that. The stars in the sky are going out one by one. But no one notices it. No one can stop it. I'm racing to the last place where there is still hope. I need to make it before it's too late. Ooh, droopy. Why is my closet door open? Cats. The sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who's willing to do the impossible. In a place without space, without time, without memories. Where am I? I can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff up in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. To change between adventure, traveling through the map, and planning, stop modes, press the switch, right-click, or space. Continue your journey by changing the game mode. Boom. Hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall, if night still even exists without the sky, that is. Oh, hey, Cameron. It's going good. Excited to see what this game's about, and then, you know, work on my own shit. Because I know that this is kind of an idle game. That's the other thing I know about it, so there might be times where I can swap over while my little buddy's walking around. Pay attention to the day progress bar at the top of the screen. New enemies usually appear at the end of the day. Okay, so that's that. A living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remembered this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. Traveling, fighting, and most other actions are done automatically. The player can't affect them directly. Press anywhere to continue. Okay. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. I think there's an undigested weapons in the remains of that thing. You have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. Equip an item to continue. Great. A gladius. Stick it on there. I think I remember there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories, or do they belong to that slime? You can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects to the map. That's what planning mode is for. Drag the card to a suitable space to remember the land. Okay. Good. Now continue your journey. Go on, little buddy. It's about to be the start of a new day. Was that a cat spawned in the grove? Oh, no, that's not a cat. A forced rat wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few vivid images, and a bit of adrenaline, and I'll forget it all like a bad dream. I mean, I'll remember it all like a bad... Damn it, good thing nobody heard that. As you probably already noticed, you can get new items and cards during battle. Some items have unique features, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can inspect its properties. Equip a new weapon and place your new cards on the map to continue. So yeah, broken longsword, same damage as the Gladius, but gives me a different thing, which is nice. So we've got a rock. Oh, okay, these do things, which is... The rock's magnificent appearance gives you strength, plus 2 HP, and plus 2 more HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. And then forest, a thick forest, nobody knows who or what it could be lurking inside. It makes you a bit nervous, which makes me attack more. Isn't that nice? Oh, these go on the outside. Weird. Okay, I got a wood. Alright, so I'll just start building rocks over here and mountains. Good, so there's a mountain over there and a forest over here. The world's almost back. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. Some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on, but not right now. But that shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. Continue your game mode by... Okay, yeah, I do have a stable wood and a preserved rock. Some of your actions yield resources that you'll need later on, but not right now. Oh. Okay. Oh, I just accidentally paused it. Got it. I think it's time I get some rest. The game itself is a journey on a looped path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp. Either you or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safer to do so. Retreat to the camp by pressing the button. You consider returning to the cozy camp right now while you're still alive and walking. Good thing the camp is right nearby. Now's the perfect chance. Retreat, you keep all your resources. Let's go ahead and retreat. Oh, hey, BLG. How you doing? It's cold and dark here. A small fire can solve both of these problems. Nice place to set up camp. This is when all resources you've gathered will come in handy. Who'd have thought? You have just enough wood and stones to make a campfire. What a nice coincidence. I love tutorials in games. Build a campfire using the building function while in camp. Press the build button, select a campfire, and place it. Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. You can now start your first expedition, or not, do as you wish. Click anywhere to complete the tutorial. We did it. I think it's time for an expedition. New trophy, new beginning. Okay, so when I leave camp, maybe it gives me a different path. Is that right? This path, everything is wrong, but I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. If I need to give up and cry to save the world, I am the worst savior of all. Let's do it. Alright, oh, we don't have a sword anymore. I gotta get a sword from the slime. Bam, bam. Cool. No fucking sword. So the meadow heals 2 HP at the start of each day. That's pretty nice. Let's get that. It seems good here because there are some that like want to be next to things, like this rock. So we can set the rock on the outside so that I can build rocks around it. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Alright, so this is where this game gets involved to a point that I can start designing my own game on the side. But let me see how this works for a little while. Good. Still no weapon. That's not cool. Alright, I've got a road lantern. Reduce the maximum number of spawning enemies on the tiles around it. Okay. So, whoa. Okay. So definitely one of these corners. That seems like the most value. I'll put 3. I'll put 3. Okay, these are both the same value. This is the most value. Great. It's like a rock, but really big. Cool. Spider cocoon, a silky bastion of 8-legged hunter. Spawns a spider on an adjacent tile once a day. Do I want that? I mean, I guess it'll help me get stuff. Seems weird to want a spider, though. Let's do it. Actually, let's do it here. To see if it interacts with this. So I get a spider, but hopefully not much else. Meadow. Earth covered with a thick carpet of grass. Nothing really interesting unless you're a cow. Of course, we've already got one of those. Let's just build a big meadow in the middle. I've got rations and pebbles. Isn't that nice? Do I want these things that spawn things? A bit of the Lich's magic causes anything to be totally forgotten. Erases any established tiles, erases monsters from the road. So hold on to that. Get this rock on my mountain. For HP value. We'll stick that there, why not? Okay, so Project Axial Tilt, and what I want to be doing with it today is my upcoming sci-fi game. I streamed about it a little bit a couple days ago, and I've talked about it. Ooh, I got a weapon, hang on. Like regen, feels better. Yeah, I've talked about it a little bit, you know, here and there, or on Twitter, but I don't expect anybody to know everything that I've ever said, so let me just go over it a bit again. It is a sci-fi game set on a weird planet that was settled by kind of mutineers of... let's throw some mountains out. Settled by mutineers of a colonial or a intergalactic like Earth Empire, call it like a colony ship. So there were like a couple 100,000 people aboard, and it was headed towards a new planet. And then mutineers like took it over and sent it to like this really weird, messed up planet that was a byproduct of Earth's like early terraforming experiments. So it's a little fucked up, which is why kind of surrounding me are some vibes that I'm going for, or that I want to go for, especially when I start figuring out how to commission art. Some of these, like this little guy here right below me, and then the turtle kangaroo, are from an old like Soviet cartoon called The Lesson, which is a really weird cartoon. You can go watch it if you want, but the vibes in it are pretty good. This is a dinosaur. I want there to be big megafauna, and it's going to be strange like that. I mean, this is just like a nice colorful thing. And then this is also from a cartoon by the same people that did The Lesson, where all these like weird American generals are getting swallowed up by this grass. I think it's called The Wind. Good stuff though. So I'm shooting for like weird sci-fi, but more importantly, like once we're on that setting, I do want it to be largely about people trying to live there. At least the core book is going to be about people trying to live there, people trying to get their lives in order, but you know, there are these different factions, or at least these different, we're going to say nations for now until I come up with a better word. There's the nation of people that like descended from like the ideological believers of those that took over the ship and got everybody into this mess. People that are like, yeah, fuck the Earth Empire, you know, death to Earth, whatever. This, even though it kind of sucks here and is weird here, like we're doing our best to make it nice, and at least we're not under the boot of Empire. There are the people that descended from, you know, the Loyalists, the Earth Empire Loyalists. It's kind of, because it's been like a couple hundred years since this planet was settled, it's kind of turned into like this sort of civic religion of like, and I think it's gotten weirder as generations have gone by. So in the current phase of like whenever we're starting play, you've got people that are like, oh god, yeah, the Empire is coming back. It's kind of like a rapture of rhetoric where it's like the Empire, surely they'll know exactly where we are, and they've been planning, you know, they've been searching for us for centuries, and now they're finally going to come and take us away. Follow me. There's going to be like some sort of, you know, some sort of leader. Maybe it's a direct lineage, like Right of Kings type of thing. I don't exactly know, but like these are people that are like, yes, the second coming of the Empire is here. You know, line up. They're gonna take us back with open arms. We're gonna love living in the Empire. They won't love it. You don't want that. And then the third nation will be people that are like disgusted by the fact that they weren't descended from people that are disgusted by the fact that they weren't consulted about this whole plan. These are people that got dragged to a weird planet after being, you know, after signing up to go populate like a normal planet and like promised a good life by the Empire there. They're instead dragged to this weird planet and, you know, have been dealing with a few generations of like weird struggles and like power struggle between the Loyalists and the other people. And so it's like this, just kind of this third nation of like, fuck, you know, stop all of this. Like, we just need to make the best of this now, but like, we're not going to get involved in your funny little squabbles. We don't want your weird cult about the Empire. We don't want to deal with the people that put us in this mess. We're going to start our own thing. But the problem is, what I believe I've landed on for like this core setting is, because this planet is so messed up, all three of these like nations have had to build like one big city, maybe with like walls between the different sections or whatever. But they've been basically kind of forced to live with this uneasy alliance. And so the main game is going to be about like people, you're going to play characters who live in this city, who are just doing their best to like exist, and then maybe get involved in politicking or whatever else, with plans. Like, I have plans for the future to, let me place this meta, let me get back to playing while I'm talking. I have plans for the future to like continue releasing content. This is a game that I'm going to want to support going forward. Oh, I shouldn't... Well, no, I guess it's fine. Yeah, I want to support it in the future going forward with different, like, rules. So I've been talking a lot on the internet about, like, rules, adventure supplements as rule supplements. So, you know, there's megafauna on this planet, so I want a whole like, zine guideline for, like, it's one part monster manual, one part, like, setting guide, and then one part, like, here are some rules that, like, the base game just doesn't have. That will make hunting monsters, like, maybe a more tactical thing, maybe a more, I don't know, something. Like, the base game's not going to have, let me pause, what do we got? We got a lot of stuff. The base game's not going to have, HP. Currently, and I tested this yesterday, currently there's no HP, there are only consequences doled out by, the GM will dole out a consequence, so if you find yourself in a gunfight, like, and you don't roll above mixed success, like, the GM can just say, no, you get shot, and that might be the end for your character. But every consequence in the game, I'm taking, like, a little bit of leeway from Forged in the Dark, the resistance rolls in Forged in the Dark games. Basically, the GM is just going to give consequences and be advised to, like, give huge consequences, like, push as hard as you want, push the story forward, because at any consequence the player can instead say, no, that doesn't, like, it doesn't happen that way, I prevent it by doing this, and that is going to fit into one of the 4 main stat categories, and basically to prevent something you're going to make one of your stats worse, and so it's always a player choice if, like, the really bad consequences happen. But to prevent it from happening, like, you're going to make future rolls harder until you can recover that. Which leads to the recovery, and the recovery is pretty simple. It's just all narrative. So if you're taking social harm, you got to go do, like, social activity that you enjoy. But because there's no downtime phase in this game. There's no, like, oh, now you're doing recovery, you can roll the dice to recover. You've got to decide as players, like, no, we have to stop what we're doing. We have to go home. We have to, like, take this story slow for a minute, where we go and relax and show that our characters are, like, real people who, like, can't just do this all the time. Because I'm thinking about, like, D&D campaigns where your characters are just out fucking walking around the entire world for years, never taking a break. Like, a long rest in D&D is you camp, you sleep on the damn ground under the stars, and we don't even think about weather. None of that. You have to go home, and you have to relax. Let's throw some mountains out. Mountain, rock. We filled up our meadows. We'll start a new meadow out here. A grove. Groves gives rat wolves, which I don't know if that's what I want. Do I want to fight a rat wolf? Battlefield. Spawns a chest on an adjacent tile each loop. Enemies on the tiles around it can become ghosts when they die. Yikes. Alright, so here's what I think I'm understanding this right. This game. And I don't know if it's big enough for anybody to see what the hell I'm doing in Loop Hero. Shout at me if it's not. I can rearrange my screen a little bit. But I think I can get a chest if I go here. And it's going to make enemies into ghosts, which I'm guessing is bad. But this lantern limits the maximum number of enemies spawning. And then I've got 2 different things, which will make it 3. I've got 3 of these tiles that are auto-spawning things. So we're not going to get random spawns, which hopefully means on this bottom row, nothing will spawn, and so nothing will become a ghost. I don't know if that's right, though. And if it's not, you know, we've got Oblivion, and we can erase established tiles. Oh, we got a regen ring. Great. We've got some armor to stick on. A shield. And another ring. Counter ring. Okay. Let's continue on. It's good. Thanks, Matt. Also, hi. What the fuck is this? There seems like a vampire mansion. Adds vampires to battles on the tiles around it. I don't think I expected when I, wanted to pick up this game. I don't think I... Ooh, this is a better weapon. I don't think I expected all of the cards to be bad. Like, so many of these cards are like, here, a bad thing seems to happen. But maybe that's the strategy, is doing what I'm doing in the corner here and like planning your spawns. But why do I want vampires? Maybe vampires drop good loot? Like, should I add this? Why not? It's the first run. I should see what's a bad idea. Let's just do it on top. I need to heal. Meadow. Careful now. Alright, let's get these meadows. My healing will crank up. Send a mountain out. I don't want that spider cocoon. I just don't want it. I just don't want the spider cocoon. It's simple. Okay. Okay, so what? All that said, all that background, what do I want to do with the ability design? And it's simple. I haven't exactly... Where's my guy? Ooh, that's a lot of spiders. By followers and viewers. Banned. It's a good point. Where else am I going to get spiders? But I already have... I just fought 3 spiders. That's a lot of damage. Alright, so I made it through the turmoil. What is all this shit? Wow, that's much better armor. What else is here? Pure damage, regen for second. Vampirism 6%. Is that, am I okay with that? That's a better shield. Oh, that's a much better sword. Oh, thank you. Thank you, MP. A ring of pure damage. What the fuck is pure damage? What happens if I put this ring on that ring? Nothing. Okay, it's just foolish. I'm gonna get the pure damage. That feels like something I should want. Alright, treasury. The thick walls guard all kinds of riches from thieves and previous owners. Gives a random basic resource after placing anything on an empty tile around it. Must be surrounded by empty space when you build it. Okay. Let's go here, because I'm going to want to keep putting rocks. Great. See all these spawning bits. Goblin camp. That's new. I didn't put that. Spawns a goblin on adjacent tile once a day. Appears for every 10... Oh, I put too many rocks down. Now I've got goblins. Seems like a good game. Oh, hero, wilt thou foundeth me a spider? This is the little narration written by BLG. A small child saying, "Oh, hero, wilt thou findeth me a spider?" Hero, "No, I won't, because I didn't make spider cocoons." And then the child cries. Yeah, it is definitely interesting so far. It definitely feels like it's going to take a little while for me to know what the fuck I'm supposed to want to do. Like, do I really want to plant groves? What do I get out of fighting rat wolves? These are the questions on everybody's mind. I am losing health, so I don't want to place any new enemies. And in fact, I should probably go back soon. MV says I should do audiobooks. I actually have been meaning to do, you know, MV, you at least know that I started doing an audiobook for No Stone Unturned. I'm definitely going to do one for Grasping Nettles because it's way less intimidating and fewer pages. Stop! Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you.
We remembered ourselves. Now give us all your things.
You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first? You can do everything you want when I'm done.
Goblin must rob! No other order in the world!
Fair enough. Guess I don't have any good objection to that. Oh, wait, I do have one. How about combat? Wow, pure damage. It's strange how these creatures appeared here on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad, and the world is trying to restore itself. That, or even the apocalypse, isn't enough to get rid of some pests. Wow. Rude. I'm gonna throw that battlefield down. We gotta get another rock out here. Boom, 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 boom. I did put a spider grove down. Foremost group 9. Matt asking, do you do character voices in games? If you mean what I'm like GMing, absolutely, yeah. And sometimes to a fault. The most, when I say sometimes to a fault, the most striking example, what is the cemetery? Let me check for a second. The most striking example would be back when I was running the D&D campaign that I ran for a couple years. A year? 2 years? However long. It was a long one. There was a time when they were hiring like crew to take a ship ride across the ocean or whatever. And I had a bunch of like randomly generated characters and like things that they're good at. And instead of picking based on things they're good at, they picked based on if the voice that I did for that character was completely awful. It's pretty good. It feels like less of a good story now that I've said it, but you get it. Cemetery spawns a skeleton. See, I was worried about my health, but now it's kind of restored because of all these meadows, so I'm less worried. Maybe get a cemetery over here. I still have groves for these rat wolves. Ooh. Oh my god. I've got a lot of shit here. Wow, the armor just gets better and better. A ritual sword. Hang on. It gets rid of that vampirism. Ooh, I bet vampirism is why I'm at higher health, though. Regen per second. Let's check out what else we have. 10% evasion. I like this. Less pure damage, but more. I think this is all the trash. Do I want the ritual sword over the rapier. I lose out on counter and vampirism. I gain damage and pure damage and a little bit of regen. I'm gonna say no, that I don't want that. Ooh, getting whooped by these spiders. This game's way less hands-off than I imagined, which does make sense. See, this is way more damage. None of the counter, none of the vampirism, but like double the damage almost. I think we gotta go for it. No. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was more of an idle game where you like set up some things and then the little funny guy loops around. But they're giving you hot loot every 2 seconds. Like I've got another road lantern. I think it's time for these groves. I'm going nuts. Who doesn't love hot loot? That's a great question, Eli. Alright, so what am I thinking about with this game? We can let our little guy go for a minute or two. I haven't decided if it's playbooks or what, but there are current word I've landed on is motifs. There's going to be these motifs which are like ability packs that have a handful of abilities. A configuration of starting stats for... Oh, I gotta fight a vampire in a second here. A configuration for starting stats if this is your first motif that you're playing. A special resource. Each one is gonna have a special resource that they use to play with their special abilities, and then an action for recharging that resource. So the only one I have written down right now, because I'm taking this from a Google spreadsheet that I have these written out, or some, not all of them. I don't have that many written out, but I have a handful of abilities written out for an earlier version of this game that had completely different mechanics. So I'm converting them into this document so that I can better... What am I doing? So I can write the rest, so I can do this. So the first one I'm working on is the artist motif. The special resource an artist has is canvas, which has a max value of 2 plus the number of artist abilities you have unlocked. And then to refill canvas, when you take this motif, describe your art, how you create it, and what inspires you. You refill canvas by immersing yourself in your inspiration and engaging with it in an intentional manner. So you're going to have abilities that you spend canvas to do cool things with your art, but in order to like get more canvas, you need to like, I don't know, let's say you're inspired by birds. You need to go bird watching. And then that will, refigure your ability to do like that impactful art. So you don't like, because running out of canvas is going to be more not like, oh, you're no longer good at art, but more like you're getting closer and closer to like burnout, and that starts to show in your work. So the current only ability that I have written for the artist, which is a little bit inspired by something in the Veil, I think. It's a little bit inspired by my memory of a move from the Veil. Which I should probably get it out and read it to make sure I'm not directly copying, but it's been a couple of years, so I assume that I'm not. I don't know. Any Veil heads out there can tell me. But the move is, behold my creation. When you're inspired by recent happenings to create a new piece of art, describe the message you're trying to impart. Perform an action roll. For each... let's say perform an action roll with no set difficulty. For each number showing on your dice, choose one of the following. How about this? Perform an action roll with no set stat or difficulty. Instead, spend canvas for each die rolled. And then for each number showing on your dice, choose one of the following. The piece's message is understood by its audience. Most people who understand... Here we go. Look at this. Live editing. Most people who understand the piece's message agree with it unless it conflicts with an already strongly held belief. And the piece's message changes strongly held beliefs of one person who understands it. The GM decides who unless you select this twice. I gotta do this like fail state situation. The GM can choose one of the following, because this, again, used to be about taking tokens from each other. For each of your tokens taken, a specific subsection of the piece's audience misunderstands the message, and a specific person rejects the message entirely. What could be failure state? How about this? Instead of with no set difficulty, perform an action roll. Period. Spend canvas to spend canvas 1-to-1 to get additional dice. For each number showing on your dice, choose the following, and then the GM can choose one of the following for each consequence granted by the roll. So this is a game that is like the main thing that you're doing is you're getting a pile of dice, you're getting a difficulty number from one of your stats, you're getting a pile of dice from another one of your stats, and then adding dice through similar mechanics to like pushing yourself in Blades in the Dark. You're rolling them and you're looking for how many numbers are showing. And if you're showing an equal number of numbers to the difficulty value, that is a mixed success. So you get what you want, but the GM adds a consequence. If you're under, the GM adds a consequence for how many you're under. 1, 2, 3, you know. And then if you're over, you get extra stuff for being over. So in this case, even if you fail, you're getting these things. You're getting to choose these things. So if your difficulty level is 2 and you got 1 number showing, you still get one of these, but then the GM will add a consequence, which feels pretty good to me. Back to Loop Hero.
Back off, human.
A vampire? Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I would be glad to offer it.
No more lands, no more flock, only hundreds of years of emptiness. And hundreds of years of hunger. Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I can keep my head straight.
What hundreds of years are you talking about?
Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its fill. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this crumpled world right.
Ooh, water's good. Especially with this voice.
That's right. I'm doing this not just for myself, but for everyone, in the name of the greater good. So be grateful for my hard work, and just let me bleed you dry.
Beep, beep, beep. Got him. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our settlements prosper. But this won't do it all. Now they are just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently blood of other creatures can't sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures around him were imbued with the power to drain someone else's life. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get him. Get him.
Alright, pause time. What did we get? No, I like my vampire armor. Let's say worse shield. Although it does add 10% evasion. I don't know the numbers well enough. Beacon. A worthless landmark in a world with no direction. 40% movement speed within its range. 20% attack speed for all units. Oh, wow. Ah, here we go. Let's make things interesting over here, I suppose. Oh, this is why you leave the middle open and don't just put fucking meadows. Understood. That's a lesson for tomorrow. We've got rocks. No, I don't want to get rid. Alright, so I can hit 3 there. Here we go. So what else can an artist do in a game? Like what would be a good ability for an artist is what I'm trying to think of now. So that one's all about like attack speed. That one's all about attack speed and evasion. That's pretty good. We lose pure damage, but we get attack speed and evasion. Defense is 12, and then defense is 3, so this is better. Road Lantern. What do these do? Pretty good. That's a lot of goblins. Whoa. Ooh, should I call this loop? Let's see. Okay. Let's see how we look. We might want to call the loop when we get close to camp. Because these motherfuckers are draining me. And I've got a lot of resources, and I don't know what those do, but I bet I want them. So anyway, back to thinking about artists. What do artists do? Especially in a weird world. Because the answer might have something to do with like trying to make sense of the ghosts. Good ring, 2 defense, 0.6 prevent or regen. 2 What do you mean, no? What do you mean, no? You want to save the world, but you want to ask for help. Our answer is no. How did you... But why no? We see far away. We see deep inside. For a long time, there's been an emptiness instead of the sky, but it doesn't stop us from seeing. Your saving of the world is one-sided and naive. Each person sees their own way to save the world. That's why no one will ever join you. Fine, I don't fully understand it, but tell me your version. How do you see saving the world? By my progeny and kin, may they live and be strong. May they join the cycle of life and death. That is life. That is the world. I will kill you and feed your flesh to my starving younglings, and life will go on. And how many lives can your blade prolong as you kill again and again? Only one. I don't want you to die, and I don't want your children to die of hunger. Please, try to see reason. If my mission succeeds, the Harpies can have all the sky and all the hunting grounds they need. I can't feed my children with your beautiful words. Farewell. I feel awful. By fixing one evil, I'm causing another. There's no home for harpies except in the highest mountains, but there's no food there. I can't even imagine how they managed to survive if their mountains were cut off from reality. Quick pause. Anyway, get back. Haunted painting. Like, you could draw something and it's a portal to another place. I do like that. Like, when you, evoke the feeling of being in another place with your art. Describe what that looks like and, roll weird. I'm trying to decide, how often should moves dictate which stats to roll? Should that be, if you're trying to transport yourself, is that a space weird? Is that a space experiential? I don't know. It feels weird to dictate that in a game that, when you're not using abilities, is so open, but, maybe that's why you should. Because it's you want, if you want to do your haunted painting move, you better keep those two stats prim and proper. Those are no longer options for you, because you can't weasel your way into it being something else. I think that's good. Let's write that. Let's write what heading 4? We're gonna call it Window to the World. And I don't know. I should read other games that aren't PBTA, but I'm obviously inspired by PBTA games here with the when you XYZ, do XYZ. When you try to recreate the feeling of being in a place you've been in before. Enroll space describe the art that you're creating and roll space plus weird. You I think maybe a lot of these special abilities will be for each number showing on the dice, choose one of the following. And then the GM can choose one of the following for each consequence granted. Because I like the idea of these popping off, even if you fail. Like, even if you are 2 under your difficulty, like, you still get something out of it. But, like, should you have? I don't know, because the consequences seem pretty rough. So choose one of the following. You can bring a handful of others with you. You can... Consequences. You're transported to a place with similar feeling instead. I'm trying to figure out a way to do this where, like, the GM can say, oh yeah, how about this? You can cancel No, because you can always just resist that. Great. Perfect. Fucking good game design. When I say that, I mean, like, so the GM can choose one of the following for each consequences. You're transported to a place with similar feeling instead. And then I say you can resist that. I mentioned this like a half hour ago, maybe. But yeah, like, the idea is that you get to... Fuck, what am I trying to say? Anytime the GM adds a consequence, you can reduce your stats or increase your difficulties going forward to cancel those consequences. So for things like this, when the GM is choosing a consequence based on your abilities, you can always just resist those. I don't need to write that in. That's already part of the core rules. And that's an exciting revelation, because that's way less than I have to write. And way less, like, weird, clunky stuff of, like, you can cancel the GM's bullshit with your stuff. Yeah. I think I'm stumped on exactly what you should get out of this, but it's a really good start, I think. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play out this loop of Loop Hero, and then I think I'm gonna call the stream. I've been going for a little while. Thanks to everybody that's here. I hope you're having a nice time. But yeah, I'm getting that kind of thirsty that you get when you talk for too long. So, like, I could sit here and try to chug water, but it's not gonna do anything for me. So let's do that, and then we'll wrap it up. Do I have to do anything? Oblivion. So I could get rid of, like, the vampire house. Could I get rid of the goblins? Wow, I can. Oh, that feels so wrong, though. I don't think I ever want to use these Oblivion cards just from a, like, a moral perspective. If the whole thing is that we're fighting against this forgetting. Uh-huh. Yeah. Give it here. What did I get? Why are these locked? A spear. Yeah, let's switch to spear. Well, what is this? I didn't see this. A dirk. 13 to 19, or 14 to 20. I'd rather do counter than evade, because I'm a proactive, go get 'em kind of guy. Okay, pure damage 2, damage to all 2, defense 2, vampirism. I think I gotta go with this. That's nice. Alright, Grove. Let's just continue. You almost finished your blog post about trade mechanics in RPG. Do you mean trade, like, one-to-one trade, or like economies. Okay, quick pause. We love a good skeleton. What the fuck just happened? Is it because because I surrounded the empty treasure. Got it. Let's keep the meadows going. Yeah, I mean, that's the speed zone. Continue. Ooh. MV says, the premise of the post is, what if the players can't use coin to buy and sell everything? What cool alternatives can we think of? This is going bad for my guy. Okay, the day is almost over, so I will get a big heal. Ooh. Not that big. I gotta say. Going back to the rapier life. I think this might be my last loop, so I may as well place all of these things. Alright, now I have it set up so as soon as I get back to camp, I will be back at camp. I swear I'm supposed to get resources for placing things, but I don't mind. Let's see if these goblins just kill me. Oh man, they might. Come on. Oof. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Ooh. My vampirism is currently at 30%. Actually, let's hop that up. I think that's good. Oh, another harpy. Yeah, that healing is killer. Skeleton should be easy enough. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe these skeletons do big damage. Oh, that's... I think that this big pile of spiders is the last challenge. But yeah, anybody watching, MV, your blog, is that going on the hypertext corner? Perhaps? If you go to hypertextcorner.com, you can see MV's cool thoughts about games. Don't hit the... Okay, you're not hitting. I was like, don't hit the chest first, you jerk. think we're in the clear. Let's place some mountains. Okay. Let's go, let's get out of here. I'm getting, my health is getting low and I just made the map awful. I can't believe it. Hey, everybody. The boy managed to return. Survivors, does this mean I'm not alone anymore? Where did you come from? Is there still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from, that, or we can't remember. These few people are all that's left of our group. I think. You're not sure? We're not sure. We reached that conclusion based on the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. Each day we see the signs of other people's presence around us, but as far as we know, they don't exist and never did. It's like we forgot them. Forgot them? Exactly. It's as if people are disappearing every day and we instantly forget they existed, just like we forgot where we came from, and our families, maybe even ourselves. My name is Yota. That I still remember. Everyone else's memories are not much better. That's why I remember so little about myself. Everything is forgotten. But wait, you said I managed to return? That means you remember I was here. Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't keep wandering in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire here, and enough space for a few sleeping bags. A real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Of course you can stay. I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to put everything right. I'm only beginning to remember the world as it was before. But there's no point to it without other people. It's too lonely without them. Remember the world? I don't get what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted. But we'll be glad if you could help us, and we'll be glad to help you. Just don't ask us to follow you out there. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us leaving the group is too dangerous. I will ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. We weren't joking about helping you. Here are the few things that survive the cataclysm and don't vanish. Don't become forgotten. Take it. You might need it. Alright. Statistics. Okay, here's everything I've done for nerds. Here's what I can build. A field kitchen is a very important place for any camp. If your nose isn't lying, there's good food here. Oh, that makes me worried that I don't heal fully when I come back to base. Okay, what happens if I do this?
Do you know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? The food made by a good cook is tastier. What? You were waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, a bucket of potatoes, 3 onions, and some ham. Nothing special. Everything is very simple. But give me a few minutes, and everyone in this camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew.
Build? Okay. Wow, I thought I collected so many resources, but apparently fucking not. That's all I can make. Okay. Cool game. Yeah, I think with that, I'm going to call it. I definitely did a lot more playing Loop Hero than I did game design, which you wouldn't know based on the screen allotment each of those got. But you live and learn. This game's cool. I'm probably going to keep playing it. Not exactly right now, but going forward. It was free on the Epic Game Store 2 days ago. Which actually reminds me, what the heck is free today? They're giving a free game out every day in December, which is, you know, I have nothing nice to say about it because, you know, it's a soulless corporation or whatever, but I'll take free games. Mutant Year Zero is the game today. I'm gonna get that. Maybe I want to play a tactics game about ducks and pigs shooting people. Alright, with that, you make her sound so excited. Yeah. It felt like the right choice for that character to just sound excited. Because not remembering that that's not how you are. I don't know. It's kind of a bleak setting this game is. But, yeah. Thanks everybody for popping in. I'm gonna get going. Maybe make myself some tea, heal my throat up a little bit, and then I'll be around to hang out later, and do more of this design, but off screen, because, you know, gotta make the game. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day. It's spooky in that loop. Hey Dan, I think you're here just in time for me to get the hell out of here. But good seeing you. Goodbye.